Monday, bright and early, and I am on my way to a random apartment to film for AWS. And it's really loud right now because I'm right at a main road. But let's see how today goes. I'm a little nervous. So I'm currently waiting, and this is the view. It's pretty amazing. Bathroom is incredible. So I'm leaving the hotel I just finished filming. They gave me like a goodie bag, which is pretty cool. So now I have to go to work and actually start my official day. But yeah, it was really nerve-wracking, but I think being on YouTube really helps with this sort of filming. Like I've filmed a couple times for different places, and as I mentioned in the last vlog, but I feel like YouTube really helps a lot because I'm not nervous to talk to a camera, but I am kind of nervous to have there was like 4 or 5 other people watching me film at the same time. That is probably more nerve-wracking than anything else. So yeah, but it went well. If it's ever on YouTube, I'll link it somewhere. Maybe I'll Instagram it. And yeah, so it's actually, when I was doing the AWS Summit thing, which is now actually cancelled, they kept saying, can you just stop saying so in front of all your sentences? And I was like, so, I know I do that. I like, because I see it all the time when I edit videos. I always have so in the front, and I have to be like really conscious to not have it. It's been a few days. I'm gonna really try now because it's been pointed out to me. It's been a few days, and we are about to go get some dinner. We're thinking we'll get Sushi Train, a place called Sushi Club. I keep getting it mixed up with Sushi Jiro, but I think it's Sushi Club. So yeah, we're gonna go get some dinner.
I don't think that you tend to say that.
I got pudding from Uncle Tetsu. This is a make me feel better food. I'm a little bit sad. But this will make me feel happier.
Good morning, internet. It's the weekend. So it's been actually quite a few days since I last talked to you guys. I figured it would probably be like this, where I'd probably vlog a lot more on the weekend than I do on the weekdays, but that's okay. Today is going to be a really busy day, so that's why I thought hopefully today would be interesting. I'm not sure if I'm going to vlog the rest of the weekend because it's actually a long weekend. We have a public holiday. I think it's just Victorians have a public holiday. I don't think the rest of Australia does, but yeah, we have a public holiday, and I'm really keen to use the time to rest up. I feel like February has just been a really horrible month in so many ways, and then I feel like some of my family is getting sick, and which is kind of terrifying with the coronavirus going around and stuff. So I just want to bunker in and just do some domestic stuff, like meal prepping. I got sticker shop orders I need to get through. I need to actually release something new on the sticker shop, so it's the same old, it's nothing new, but I just love the extra time. Just having one extra day really does make a lot of a difference. But yeah, so AWS Summit has been cancelled, which is just all that filming for nothing in the end. I don't know if they can still use the footage, but yeah, because of the coronavirus, a lot of public events are being cancelled, which really sucks, but it's probably for the best as well, just to stay safe. Tobias and I have decided to cancel our trip to Japan and Korea, which was coming up in May. To be honest, I'm not worried about the actual countries themselves because I feel I don't know, I just feel like if you're careful, you should be okay. But I think the thing that I worry about the most is actually places like the airport and airplanes, where you're in a really confined location. You don't know who's sitting right next to you. You don't have control of that sort of stuff because the airports are just very international. So if I could get to Korea and Japan without flying, I would probably not cancel the trip at all. Although I'm not sure, like this trip wasn't just Tobias and I, it was with family, and some of our family members are I'd consider them elderly, so it's probably not great for them because the risk is much higher. But yeah, I've never in my life had to cancel a trip before, so the experience is kind of new, and it kind of sucks that, like, I've always booked, if I could find a non-refundable special price, I generally go for that because it's always cheaper. And because I travel so much, I always go for the cheapest option. So now it's really coming back to bite me in the ass because so much is non-refundable, and we're going to lose a lot of money. And because we book for so many family members, it's going to cost us a lot. So, but you know, that's life. I'd much rather my health, I'd much rather my family's health than a trip to anywhere. Like, I'd rather just never travel again if it meant that my family could be healthy. So it's fine. I'm just grateful that we even got I feel like I should be grateful, and I am, that we could even travel and that we could even had the option of traveling to begin with, so it's fine. But yeah, I really wonder what 2020 is going to be like, if people will be allowed to travel at all. I have no idea. Like, so many of my co-workers are all cancelling their trips just out of the fear, and I think it's like one of my co-workers raised a very good point. It isn't so much that we're worried about us getting infected, but it's the courtesy of the people we work with and live with, that we could be exposing them if we become carriers. And yeah, I mean, I feel that sort of sense of responsibility. I mean, obviously mostly to my family members. I don't want to endanger them, and then to a lesser extent my coworkers, but still my coworkers. Like, I don't want to be that leper at work where no one wants to sit near or talk to because I just got back from an overseas trip. So yeah. But anyways, it is a lot earlier than I normally would be out on a Saturday. Like, I'm actually out at, like, usually I don't leave the house till maybe 9 on the weekends or something, but we had to leave at about 7:30 or something. I don't know, something crazy. We've been driving for a while because I need to take my car in for service. So that's like the first task of today's busy, active day, and I really hope I don't miss the service center because I'm not as familiar with the area. But yeah, I need to take my car in for service. And then we're taking Bella to the vet. What are we doing next? I think I might just give you a summary because I don't know if I can explain what we're doing as we're doing it. But then after that, Tobias and I need to do a little bit of tile shopping. And then we're meeting up with Violet and Jimmy for lunch because Jimmy's birthday was on Wednesday. And tradition is that we don't buy each other gifts, we just take each other out for meals, or we pay for an experience or something like that. I love this arrangement. I wish I could do this with like everyone in my life because I know what I want. I don't really need people to buy me stuff that I don't need at this age. Like, I get it if you're like quite a bit younger or you're in school or uni and stuff like that, but I work, so if I want something I can buy it for myself. And I find that most gifts I get, which I actually don't get many gifts, to come to think of it, but most gifts that I do get are usually things that I don't need nor want, and then it just feels like such a waste when I would have much rather just spend time with the person over a meal, or let's do something together like an escape room or whatever, a day out. So I just love the arrangement we have with Violet and Jimmy, that everybody's birthday they just pick the restaurant that they want to eat at, and then we'll treat them to it, and then we just get to spend the whole lunchtime together. So it's kind of awesome in that sense, which I'm really looking forward to that, even though it is American barbecue food, which I don't know if anybody loves it as much as James does. He's obsessed with it, so hopefully that should be good. And then rest of the afternoon will be more tile shopping, hopefully, depending on how the timing works, because a lot of these tile shops are only open on weekdays or Saturday, which is very unfortunate for those of us who have to work full time, because like, it's a total pet peeve of mine that so many public service things are only open on weekdays. And it's like, I was like, when you have to collect your mail and you're like, dude, I work. Like, how do I make time to actually come collect it except take time off work, which I hate doing that, because then you always fall behind on everything you're doing. So anyways, right aside, that's today. And then we obviously pick up the car again, which okay, cyclists.
peaceful protest, I guess. Oh, Bella. You'll be out of the cage soon. So Bella's back home now. She was not happy about the vet.
Not at all.
No, but she's good, she's healthy. And so I put on some makeup. I don't know, I feel like strangely inspired lately. I really hope this music isn't copyrighted, although I feel like it probably is. Okay, that music's over now, so hopefully, although there's more music starting, there's so much music everywhere. Anyways, so we are currently at Crown in Tobias. We're walking to a place called San Antonio, which is the restaurant that James had picked out for his birthday. Never been there before. I think it's actually the cinema area. Now that I think about it.
I think it's just above here somewhere. I think we need to figure out where it is.
Yeah, so I'm not actually that hungry because I just ate like some Korean ramen before I got here. Yeah, you haven't eaten all day. But I am curious to know what it's going to be like. Moomba's on at the moment as well, so we're driving in and we saw like all of the Moomba, which is basically like a theme park festival that's on the Labor Day weekend. So we'll see what Ballard and Jimmy feel like, but if they're up for it, maybe we'll go check out Moomba because I think that would be pretty fun. To San Antonio, it is very noticeable. It is very noticeable.
It's very in your face. It's not subtle.
Not subtle at all. Oh my god, I thought you were gonna do something else.
I can like lick in her ear.
No, it's good. Okay.
I love you, Toby.
Happy birthday! Cheers!
Happy birthday, Jenny. Very good.
So we're going down to Moomba to see if it's any fun. Vala's gonna ride a ton of rides. Yeah? Yes, she is. I saw that one where it like swings you in midair with a lot of swings, and I'm like, that's the one that you're going on.
So we're going together then, right?
We can't sit together.
Why can't we sit together?
Really great for
It's individual.
So then you go first and I'll watch and then I'll go.
Actually, we should if it's not too expensive. To me, rides come down to price, but also kind of safety, so maybe not that one. Made it to Moomba. So these rides don't look too intimidating. I think they're meant for kids though. Oh yeah, those are like massive ones over that side. Go Violet!
This is where they win the big giant prize prizes. Come on over, look at that, win a prize. You guarantee the prize each and every time you play. Winners are winners of the big giant lucky ducky game. Winners are winners. Hey, check this one out. It's the Lucky Duckies. Every duck's a winner. Guarantee the prize each and every time you play. It's the giant Lucky Ducky game. Come on over, guys. Book a duck, check your numbers. The higher the number, the bigger the prize. Winners are winners.
The Iron Man or Batman or Captain America? We need another 11 points to get the Pokemon ball. Do you like the lava? Do you like
I got lured in by the Pokemon. But you can't win Pokemon.
coming over, give it a shot, give it a go.
We are on the way back to get my car. It's finished its service, so I've got to go pick it up. And it's very expensive this round. I have no idea if I'm getting like scammed or anything, but the bill came out to be a lot higher than I expected for a regular service, and especially my car is not really an expensive car, it's a Ford, so, and it's like one of the cheapest Fords you can get, so I'm not really sure why the service is so expensive, but they said they had to replace a lot of parts because of the age. I think my car's like 5 years old now, so it's actually not that old, and I bought it new, although it was kind of like a previous year model when I bought it, which is part of why I could get it cheaper. But yeah, so I'm gonna go pick it up. I need to refill my car, but I think we maybe do it later in the weekend when we go groceries with my car or something.
Yeah, we can do groceries tomorrow with your car and then just refuel or something.
Yeah, so we didn't end up seeing any of the tiling shops that I originally planned for, which is fine because I actually liked how today played out. It was very chill. We managed to do quite a lot, but none of it felt rushed at all. We could take our time, and I think that's kind of what I don't know. I'm like, I don't want to be rushing around all the time. Some days I just want to take it easy. So we had lunch, which was, it was like, I think it was good. American barbecue food is not really my thing, but Jimmy seemed to really like it, and I think that's all that really matters anyways, so long as he enjoyed it. And then we went to see Moomba. Moomba was so weird. Like, Moomba's an event that I've been going to since I was a kid. Like, ever since I was little, my parents would take me, and then we went to the Royal Melbourne show. I mean, it's just been a thing that if you've been born and raised in Melbourne, you would have heard of it, likely gone to it because people talk about it at school and stuff like that. And the older I get, the more I don't like those sort of events. And it's just, the good thing about Moomba is that entry is free, so anyone can just walk by. It only lasts like a few days, so it's only the Labor Day weekend. But I don't know, it just feels very, like it really hasn't evolved past what I remember it being as a kid. Plus there were no show bags, which is the thing that I would usually get if I go to these festivals. And then all the things I wanted to eat weren't there, and everything we wanted to do was so expensive. And then when we left, all four of us were like, are we getting old? Because we literally just spent the entire hour complaining about how expensive everything was and how much cheaper it was back in the day. So I think we're getting old. Good morning, internet. It is the next day and we are at Bunnings. Just doing our weekly Bunnings run. Well, we don't have a weekly Bunnings run, but we've been coming here a lot since getting the house. Understandable. We've talked about this a lot before getting the house. Every time we come to Bunnings, we're like, oh, we can't wait till we get a house so that we have a reason to come here. And now we have a reason to come here. We're looking for a pH meter to test the soil because the vegetables I'm growing are kind of crap. They're not doing so well. So we want to figure out what's wrong with the soil. Even though it's probably too late now because we're in autumn and so winter's coming up. But it would be good to see. I know some of the stuff can take a while, so may as well start figuring out what's wrong and fixing it while we can, so we'll be ready for spring later this year. Well, no trip to Bunnings is complete without sausage sizzle. It's kind of mandatory.
It is kind of the truth.
And I have to write a recipe, an Australian recipe in Japanese this week for homework. So I'm gonna write how to cook a sausage sizzle.
How to make a sausage sizzle.
Get sausage, put it on the stove. Done. I have the same toilet paper problem here. Oh no. Hey internet, so I think I'm gonna sign off the vlog now. I think for the rest of the day I'm about to take a shower. I need to wash my hair, and then I'm pretty much gonna spend the entire rest of the day editing videos, doing orders. Yeah, that is pretty much my life. I feel like I'm such a repetitive, I think I say the same thing all the time because I'm pretty much doing the same thing when I'm home. It's just like churning away at all the stuff. So yeah. Oh, and before I log off, I didn't vlog this part because I didn't think it was appropriate. Although in retrospect, I kind of wish I did, but at the same time, I think I would have been told to delete the footage. So I went to a Woolies today. It was mostly just to buy, there's a specific salad I really like that they make. So I went to go buy that. And then I noticed a lot of people walking out with tissue boxes. Because if you don't know, and by the time this vlog goes out, hopefully it's over and people are not being so crazy anymore. But there's so many people in Australia right now going crazy over toilet paper running out. And so they're buying it in truckloads. And then there's people, as a result, buying tissues and serviettes and just anything that is of a similar nature. And so there's been shortages going on with the supermarkets, which is just insane because I know it's related to the virus, but most tissues and toilet paper in Australia are made in Australia. It's not made in China. So I don't know why everyone's going really insane for it. And out of all the things to stock up on, it seems like a weird thing. And then there's that whole, like, with everyone, like, there's just insane amounts of people buying so much. Like I saw someone walk out with about 12 boxes, and you're like, there's no way you need that much. And it just, like, it kind of annoys me just because of all the people who like are living paycheck to paycheck, who actually rely on the supermarkets having basic essentials when they need it. So anyways, that's like a whole other thing. And I think the internet is very active with that sort of discussion. But I saw a lot of people leaving Woolies with the tissue boxes. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm kind of curious now. I just want to see how much there's left. So I went over to the toilet paper aisle, gone. Paper towel aisle was half empty, and then the tissue box aisle was probably like a fifth of the supply left, and there was just like hordes of people just pulling boxes of it down into their trolley. And so I just kind of stood to the side to watch because I've just never seen it get that crazy before. But next to me was an elderly lady and another middle-aged lady, and they were just like making comments very much in vain to what I was saying before about how it's just ridiculous that people are buying this much and are like shook with so much fear, but it's so unnecessary because, you know, of the supply is not limited. So I don't know why they're so shocked, but more anger because there's a lot of pensioners, especially in Australia. I'm not sure what the welfare system like is in other countries, but in Australia we do have a public welfare system for those who are of a certain age, who have retired, who maybe don't have adequate retirement savings. But I think they get paid fortnightly, and then they have to, it's quite tight, so they have to ration that out. And it means that they rely on essentials being there when their pension comes out, because they usually have used up the supplies by that time. And so she was getting so worked up and complaining about that. And then eventually there was this two ladies who pulled down 12 boxes of tissues. And she just got so mad that she literally walked up to them, and she got so mad that she literally walked up to them and she goes, I want to ask them where they're sending that. And so she went up to them and she was like, can I ask where you're sending that? And I think that was to imply, because the two ladies who pulled them were Chinese. And so I think she was trying to have a dig about how sending them away. I assume, I don't know. But the two ladies did not know how to speak English very well. So they started saying, oh, we're a big family, in very broken English. You know, we use 2 boxes each a day. Just all sorts of strange excuses. And there's actually, I didn't mention this part, there's a security guard manning the tissue boxes. So he stood there and he had to come and intervene and be like, hey, this is store policy. They're allowed to take these tissue boxes. And so the original elderly lady was basically saying that Woolworths was disgusting and the whole thing was really horrible and disgusting, and how can they let this happen? Pensioners will be coming out, they rely on the products to be there, how nobody needs 12 boxes of tissue boxes. And yeah, and I was standing there the whole time watching it, not realizing that I was slowly kind of getting cornered as they were starting to argue, and it was getting really heated. And it was like my own fault for wanting to be there to see it, because I started realizing, oh wait, if they break out into a fight, like a physical fight, because it's happened now, like literally on the news, if you Google it, there are people having physical fights, pulling their hair, punching each other over tissue paper and toilet paper. I would be caught in the middle of this. So I'm trying to ease out, and I'm just like, oh, I don't think it was a good idea to come watch this. But at the same time, I'm very curious to know how desperate people are. And then in the end, I just wandered off as they were still fighting. So they still kept going, but I had to leave anyways because Toby's waiting for me outside. It's just, oh my gosh. I think I'm more shocked that I saw something like that in person. I just did not think it would happen. I see it on the news, I just didn't think it was going to be something that occurred where I physically was. And it's crazy. What is with the world? I have no idea. But yeah, tomorrow is a public holiday as well, so I'm probably going to be filming mostly tomorrow. Try and set up my office so I can do some bulk filming. And yeah, I think I will end this video now so I can edit it, and I will talk to you guys in the next vlog. Don't know when I'll start that, but I'll start that. Maybe I'll start that tomorrow. Who knows? So yeah, thank you so much for watching. This is Celina reporting from my room. Back to you tonight.